So I spoke a little bit about addiction and what my life has consisted of in getting clean and being an addict. I'm a little nervous. Okay, hello everyone. I'd like to start off by introducing myself. I'm Amber and I've been in this program a year. Can I just say, I wholeheartedly mean it when I say it's changed my life. I remember when I first started this program, I was beside myself. I wanted nothing to do with it. I felt so inconvenienced and annoyed and discouraged. As time went on, I realized I was learning the coping skills and the tools I needed to stay clean and learn how to live life, not just exist in it. For so long, I was living life as an addict, and looking back, I see I was truly never living life at all. I was just existing. Looking at the clock, watching it, knowing it was just a matter of time before I was withdrawing or feeling like crap, needing my next fix. The problems and chaos I brought on myself because of my addiction always came first. Getting high was the first thing I thought about when I woke up and the last thing I thought about before I went to bed at night. It literally ran my entire life. And not only mine, but my kids' life as well, my family, my friends, and even my coworkers. They truly and sadly all were hostages to my situation. When I used drugs, I was not who I am today. The personality and amazing traits and our likes and dislikes and type of person we are all goes out the window because of drugs. We don't think, feel, listen, speak, act the same as we would if drugs were not involved. I hated the person I was. So selfish and so inconsiderate all the time, only thinking about myself and my addiction. But what I have to remind myself is that that wasn't me. It was the drugs. And being an addict and struggling with the disease of addiction, whether clean or still using, is a very, very, very difficult thing. I know because I am an addict and I always will be an addict for the rest of my life. The key to living life as an addict is to change your way of thinking, which again is a very hard thing to do, especially after you become so used to and accustomed to that type of lifestyle. It really and truly is about mind control, determination, and believing in yourself. A lot of people use because they like the way they feel. They enjoy the high so much they simply can't get enough of it, and while being so obsessed over that feeling, they become addicted, and in fear of having withdrawals, they continue to use. While others use to numb their feelings or quote-unquote escape from reality or escape from things they have been through in their life. But the thing is, what I finally realized is at the end of the day, no matter how many times a day we get high, all the emotions, all the feelings, all the wounds are still there. So in my eyes, it's so much easier to just fight through them and face them front on, because once you do, you truly feel so much better about not only yourself, but about life as well. Addressing our feelings is not an easy thing to do. But just like with anything, practice makes perfect. And in due time, you just learn how to deal with and face emotions, which is what life is all about, emotion. We go through so many emotions on a day-to-day basis that wouldn't it be easier in the long run to just learn how to face them and deal with them? Looking back on my life as an addict is very hard to do. Sometimes because what we don't tend to realize is we get one life to live, and one life only. Not only one life, but one body, one mind, and one soul. It is our job to take care of these things to the best of our ability and give ourselves and our children the best life possible. There's no makeups and there's no redos. Our life is solely what we make of it. We have to learn that in life, mistakes will be made. Some definitely more than others, but it's up to us to learn from those mistakes and use those many, many mistakes as fuel within ourselves to better our life. We have to keep fighting and keep pushing through in this world we live. And it can be a messed up world at times, but it is also a very beautiful world as well, which I've only seen the beauty in it since I got clean. And I don't mean beauty as in how it looks. I mean the beauty of life itself and how grateful and appreciative each and every one of us should be to live in it. I say this because I was so depressed living with an addiction and going through that way of life every day, I tried to take my own life twice. This just proves how selfish someone is on drugs. I truly hated myself, the way I lived, what I was, and where I thought my life was headed. Life is too short. too precious to be ran by a substance, a drug, or even another person. Make the best you can out of this life we are given, because it truly is a gift. And I say this because back on October 3rd, 2012, I lost my one and only sibling, my sister Shannon. She died peacefully and unexpectedly in her sleep at a fairly young age. She was only 33. I must say, I of course miss her dearly and would give anything to have her back. But the true reason I would love her back was so I could say how sorry I am for when 5 months before she passed, I was smoking heroin in my car, screaming at her like a damn psycho, saying the nastiest, most hateful things to her. And that was the last things I said to her, only to find out 5 months later she would pass. This is what I mean when I say life is too short. We are never promised tomorrow, and words hurt, and no matter how many times someone says sorry, the words spoke, they never go away. So treat every day as it's your last. Life isn't easy. Nobody ever said it was going to be. But I truly believe what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And for all I've been through, I can sit up here today and say I am strong, and with every passing day, I make the choice every day to stay clean. I can honestly sit up here today and say I love myself and the person I became. And I truly, truly have this program to thank. I know I would not be where I am today without this program and my friends and family, of course. I am now reliable, dependable, honest, trustworthy, and most importantly, a wonderful, loving, caring, devoted mother to my 2 children, Lexi and Tyler. Which might I add, I lost them to my addiction. Not only them, but my job, my car, my home, but mainly I lost myself. And I'm proud to stand here today and say not only do I have my children back, I have a car, I got my job back, I have my own apartment, but most importantly, I have myself back. And without myself, none of this and this amazing transformation would be possible. All I can say is to those struggling with addictions to remember 2 main things. Number 1, the disaster and the mess we created and lived did not happen overnight, so don't expect it to be fixed overnight. It takes a lot of dedication, hard work, determination, and belief in yourself. And 2, with every and any choice or decision we make, we have consequences. Whether it's to run a red light or say mean things to someone or relapse, there will be consequences, both negative and positive. So before you make a choice or decision, take a second to play the tape out in your head and decide what the consequences will be and how they will affect you and those around you. And for those who aren't addicts or have a hard time understanding addiction, addiction is a disease. It's not something that's curable. Everybody makes mistakes, and someone on drugs is not the same person off of drugs. So try not to judge anyone or hold resentment for things that a person did while on drugs. People can and do change. So with that being said, thank you for all listening to me speak today, and thank you for this program. I mean it when I say it changed my entire life and the way I live.